All right, it's been certainly an interesting morning so far. Very interesting. I was hoping for a boring Friday, but I got interesting anyway.
All my friends, number low rider.
18 after 7, here's Dan.
Low rider.
Morning, Sean. Let me take off my shades and get out of the lowrider here. It's I continue to modify the vehicle even as we speak here. I'm looking at the Stormy Daniels show trial. I mean, it's one of several trials that Trump is going through right now. Beyond it being an absolute outrage, and just again, if you don't have law in the country, you don't have a country, and that's what's so dangerous about this whole thing. But for those who are saying this is a first of its kind, it's actually not. I mean, the perversion of the law started long ago, and the first one that I can remember in recent times was Anita Hill. That was back in the 90s, I believe, early 90s, versus Clarence Thomas. When they brought Anita Hill to make these accusations against Thomas, it was obvious. The reason was obvious to smear Thomas and keep him, to put this forever on his record. And by the way, the guy who was in charge of that hearing, Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, that's
right, Joe Biden. That dirtbag has been around forever.
That is good knowledge.
And by the way, back to that Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas thing, that was just a hearing. If that fiasco had gone to trial, that would have been thrown out of court for lack of evidence. Anita Hill was lying through her teeth at the time. She's still lying. Whatever happened to her, and all these accusations, they all went away as soon as Clarence Thomas got into office. But again, they keep bringing it up periodically.
Well,
Others along the way.
She was just telling her truth, Dan.
Of course, right. And remember what the polls that most people disbelieved her at the time. But then the media started doing its spin, and then after about a number of months, people that changed, and Anita Hill was the one who was believed and Clarence Thomas wasn't. That was also the beginnings of the media doing what it's doing to propagandize things for the Democrat Party. Remember another one, Herman Cain. Herman Cain, when he was running for president in 2012, he was leading in polls, by the way. Excuse me, and that scared the Obama administration so much that they sent Gloria Allred, that ugly whatever, and she's just an activist, to bring all these women out of the woodwork to make these accusations against Cain. The day he drops out of the race, these women disappeared. We've never heard from them since. And, of course, the double standard with, Bill Clinton accusers and, of course, Joe Biden accusers. They're still out there. Where are they?
They are... I don't even want to speculate where they might be, Dan. I have an idea, but I hope I'm wrong.
But their stories, again, they very much had evidence and witnesses and so forth against Bill Clinton and Biden. And the media, again, doesn't pay them any attention whatsoever. So, I wish people would bring these things up because, again, this is history, and it's so one-sided it's not even funny. I hate to do this to you guys this morning. Fox News has pictures of Gavin Newsom. Let me bring it up here. Even I'll make myself take my watch. Yeah, he's apparently. So the story goes like this: even Democrats are turning on this guy. The story goes, there's $20 billion that is missing from the homeless fund that was supposed to have been spent on the homeless. And who is it? Democratic Assemblyman Phil Ting said he's making the accusation saying, where's all this money? Apparently there was a budget committee hearing, and he goes to this committee hearing, and there's no numbers and there's no facts. And he's the only one. Well, he's not the only one, but there's others that are saying, what's going on here? So, look, the point is that I can see is that people like Newsom and Biden and even Pelosi are hated within the Democrat Party. You rarely hear about it. This is one of those rare times where Democrats are speaking up and saying, well, wait a minute, we want to have some sort of semblance of the law. But people like Newsom and Biden have gone so far off the rails that their own Democrat Party is turning on them.
Well, that is good news, Dan. That kind of cheers me up. The thing about the homeless and the money that is just baffling is we have a homeless problem on one hand, and on the other hand, we're letting millions of people just come into the country. Just letting them come in.
And they're giving them money. This is why the homeless has never been solved.
Yeah.
They give them cash money. What do you think they're going to do with that cash money?
They'll probably spend it very wisely. They'll probably invest. They'll invest wisely, Dan. Come on.
Well, so here's what they should do. While giving them money, give them an investment person so they can start a portfolio.
I'll be the investment person, Dan. I'm very good at these things.
You know what? This is a great idea. I mean, you could start a whole career right here with this.
It's about time I got a job, don't you think?
I think so. Gavin Newsom. God, it's horrible to look at this guy. You can just see the arrogance dripping off of his hair.
Yeah, you know, when I look at those eyes, I see no soul. I
see cocaine.
I think he's a robot.
That's what I see.
He's a robot.
He's high. He's high all the time. So.
Well, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for bailing me out.
I did my best. All right, talk to you Monday, pal. Thanks.
Dan in Sonoma, everybody. It's what is it? It's 7:24. The clock has moved. The clock is not where it used to be.
He said, Clarence, what do you tell a dying man who has no faith? And, I don't know. I truly don't know. I think in so many ways, the thing that allows all of us, or me in public life, to remain steady is an abiding faith. And I think you've got to. I use my litany of humility. I keep it directly across my desk from me. That you understand that it's not about you. It's about things that are far more important than you. And whether people are mad at you has nothing to do with whether you're right. You can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm. North is still north. People can yell at you. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself. And I think you've got to be comfortable with that.